There is a kind of intelligence that the world never teaches you. Not the intelligence of grades, of credentials, of polite answers in quiet rooms, but the intelligence of survival, the intelligence of those who see the game others don't even know they're playing, and who move through it not with innocence but with clarity. Most people spend their entire lives being good, being fair, waiting for the world to reward their patience and their virtue. And the world, indifferent as it has always been, continues spinning, rewarding neither goodness nor innocence but awareness. There is a hidden architecture beneath the surface of every human interaction, a structure of power, perception, and motive that operates in silence, beneath the words people use, beneath the smiles they wear, beneath the agreements they sign. And here is the uncomfortable truth very few will say aloud. The moment you understand how this architecture works, truly understand it, not with fear, but with sharp and lucid intelligence, you become something the ordinary mind cannot easily manipulate. You do not become cruel. You do not become cold. You become dangerous in the most profound sense of the word. Dangerous to illusion. Dangerous to your own self-deception. What you are about to hear is not a lesson in cynicism. It is a lesson in waking up. Most people move through life as though reality is a neutral stage, a place where events simply happen, where luck is random, where outcomes are determined by forces too vast and mysterious to understand. They are wrong. Beneath every outcome, every opportunity seized or lost, every relationship that rose or collapsed, every door that opened or stayed shut, there is an invisible infrastructure of principles, not fate, not randomness, mechanics. The mechanics of how human beings actually operate when stripped of their social performance. We are taught, from the very first years of our formation, to focus on the visible world, on what is said, what is shown, what is declared. We are trained to trust appearances, to accept the first layer of things as if it were the only layer. And this training, however well-intentioned, creates a profound blindness. The man who cannot read a room cannot navigate it. The woman who cannot identify when power shifts in a conversation cannot choose her next move wisely. And the human being who has never examined their own hidden motives cannot begin to understand why their life keeps producing the same results, no matter how sincerely they try to change. Reality does not operate the way we were told. It operates the way human psychology actually functions, through desire, through fear, through the need for status and belonging, through the invisible calculations that happen in the mind long before a word is ever spoken. The world is not hiding this from you out of malice. It is simply that most eyes have never been trained to see it. And what the eyes cannot see, the mind cannot use. The first and perhaps most radical insight is this. The way you perceive power determines whether you have any. This is not a statement about wealth or position. It is a statement about orientation, about the internal posture with which you enter every situation, every conversation, every decision. Most people unconsciously enter every room as a subject, as someone to whom things happen. They position themselves, without realizing it, as recipients, waiting to be chosen, waiting to be given, waiting for the external world to confirm their worth, their intelligence, their belonging. And from this posture, the posture of the recipient, they interpret everything through the lens of vulnerability. Every rejection becomes evidence of unworthiness. Every obstacle becomes proof that the world is against them. Every loss reinforces the belief that the game was rigged from the beginning. But here is what changes everything. When you begin to understand that your internal narrative, the story you carry about yourself, about others, about what is possible, is not a passive reflection of reality, but an active filter that shapes what you notice, what you pursue, and how others respond to you. The entire game changes. You are not simply reacting to a world that exists independently of your mind. You are participating in the construction of the world you inhabit. The patterns you carry inside, your assumptions about trust, about danger, about worthiness, these are not neutral observations. They are lenses. and lenses by their nature can be changed. This is where real intelligence begins, not in knowing more facts, in understanding the instrument through which you perceive them. In the 15th century, in the turbulent political landscape of Renaissance Italy, a man sat in exile and wrote what would become one of the most controversial documents in the history of human thought. His name was Niccolò Machiavelli. Banished from the political life he loved, stripped of his position and his influence, Machiavelli did not collapse into bitterness. He observed. He studied history with a ruthless precision, examining the lives of rulers, the rise and fall of republics, the mechanisms through which human ambition expressed itself across centuries, and what he concluded was not what his critics claimed. Machiavelli did not celebrate cruelty. He documented reality. He looked at the world not as it was supposed to be, but as it actually was. And in doing so, he offered something that the comfortable thinkers of his age refused to touch: an honest map of human nature. He wrote that the prince who relies entirely on the goodness of others will be ruined, because men are not consistently good. He observed that the effective leader must be, in his famous phrase, both lion and fox, strong enough to repel force, and clever enough to recognize and escape the traps that force alone cannot defeat. What Machiavelli understood, with extraordinary depth, is that ignorance of human nature is not innocence. It is vulnerability. The person who does not understand how power moves in human relationships does not escape its influence. They simply become subject to it without knowing. To see clearly, even when what is visible is uncomfortable, is not cynicism. It is, in Machiavelli's world, the beginning of genuine wisdom. Modern psychology has confirmed, through decades of rigorous research, what the great philosophical observers of history understood intuitively. The human mind does not perceive reality directly. It constructs it. Your subconscious mind, that vast silent processor operating beneath every thought you are aware of, holds within it a dense network of beliefs, emotional associations, and identity conclusions formed across an entire lifetime. Many of them were formed before you had the language to question them. These structures are not abstract. They are active. They influence what you notice and what you ignore. They determine which opportunities you unconsciously disqualify yourself from pursuing. They shape how you read the expressions on other people's faces, how you interpret tone, how you respond to authority or intimacy or conflict. And here's the critical point. Most of this happens beneath the threshold of conscious awareness. The person who grew up in an environment where trust was consistently betrayed does not simply remember that experience as a historical fact. They carry it as a living filter. Their nervous system learned a conclusion, that the world is unreliable, and it applies that conclusion automatically, before logic has a chance to intervene. This is not weakness. It is the mind functioning exactly as it was designed, with breathtaking efficiency, protecting the organism from repeating past dangers. But when the old danger no longer exists, and the filter remains unchanged, the mechanism becomes a cage. The patterns that once protected you begin limiting you. The beliefs that once made sense begin generating outcomes that no longer serve who you are or who you are capable of becoming. Understanding this, truly understanding this, is the foundation of everything that follows. Here is the revelation. The 8 ruthless lessons that make you dangerously smart are not strategies in the conventional sense. They are not tactics to be deployed for personal gain. They are illuminations, moments of clarity about the nature of human behavior that, once genuinely understood, permanently alter the quality of your perception. First, people act from self-interest, almost always. Not because they are evil, but because they are human. The moment you stop expecting others to prioritize you over themselves, you stop being perpetually disappointed and start navigating reality accurately. Second, appearances govern perception more than truth does. The world responds to what it sees, not necessarily to what is. This is not an invitation to deception. It is an invitation to intentional presence. Third, power respects competence and clarity. Hesitation, excessive explanation, and chronic seeking of approval signal uncertainty, and uncertainty invites manipulation. Fourth, your environment shapes your thinking more than your willpower does. Choose your circles with intelligence, not just affection. Fifth, information is leverage. The person who listens more than they speak accumulates an extraordinary understanding of what others need, fear, and value. Sixth, emotions are information, not commands. The capacity to feel deeply without being governed by feeling is one of the rarest and most powerful forms of intelligence. Seventh, most conflicts are not about what they appear to be about. Behind every argument there is an unmet need or an unacknowledged fear. The person who can read beneath the surface of a conflict has already found the exit. Eighth, self-knowledge is strategic. Knowing your own triggers, your own blind spots, your own patterns of self-sabotage. This is not weakness. It is the most profound form of power available to a human being. These are not lessons for the ruthless. They are lessons for the awake. Understanding these principles intellectually is only the beginning. The transformation happens in the lived practice, in the daily, almost invisible decisions to engage differently with yourself and with the world around you. Begin with observation. Before you can change any pattern, you must first see it operating in real time. This requires a quality of self-awareness that most people never develop, simply because they have never been taught to look inward with the same rigor they apply to external problems. Start watching your own reactions, not to judge them, but to understand them. When you feel the sudden impulse to defend yourself, to withdraw, to perform, pause. Ask what belief is driving that impulse. Ask what it is protecting. Practice emotional neutrality in moments of pressure, not detachment, not indifference, but the capacity to remain present and clear when the situation would prefer you to react. This is the space, the brief, precious space between stimulus and response, where real intelligence lives. Become a student of people, not with suspicion but with curiosity. Everyone you meet is operating from a set of inner principles they rarely examine. When you begin to understand those principles, through listening, through observation, through patience, you gain a kind of social intelligence that no curriculum teaches. Examine your identity narratives, the stories you carry about who you are, capable or incapable, worthy or unworthy, safe or in danger, are not facts. They are conclusions, and conclusions, unlike facts, can be revised. Finally, apply what you learn not to control others, but to free yourself from reactivity, from illusion, from the unconscious patterns that have been quietly determining your outcomes. This is what it means to be dangerously smart, not dominant over others, sovereign over yourself. Machiavelli was not writing about power for the sake of power. He was writing about clarity, the rare and demanding courage to see the world as it is and still choose to move through it with intention, with intelligence, and with dignity. The ruthless lessons are ruthless not because they ask you to be cruel, but because they demand you be honest. Honest about human nature, honest about your own patterns, honest about the invisible forces that have been shaping your life from the inside. Most people prefer the comfort of illusion. They prefer to believe that life is simple, that goodness is always rewarded, that sincerity alone is enough. And perhaps, in a better world, it would be. But this is the world we inhabit. Complex, layered, governed by the deep and often unconscious mechanics of the human mind. And in this world, the most revolutionary act you can perform is not rebellion. It is awareness. To see clearly, to think precisely, to act from understanding rather than reaction. The world does not change when you wish it were different. It changes when you become someone who can navigate it with open eyes.